The end of the world. 1946, first year of the new era. The next day, he returned just as before and started to speak. The time of the end of the world has arrived. Not the end of the world as in a catastrophe destroying the earth, but the end of the world of the Church, which has completed its work. It performed this role more or less effectively. It was a task of vulgarization, making it possible for your creators to be recognized when they return. As you have noticed, the Christian Church is dying. It is the end of this world because its mission has been fulfilled, albeit with quite a few mistakes because it tried for so long to deify the creators. This deification was acceptable until the scientific age began. Then it should have been removed completely. This would have been possible had the truth been preserved, or if people had been able to read between the lines. But too many mistakes were made. This was foreseen by the creators, and the Church will collapse because it is no longer of any use. In scientifically developed countries, people are already consumed by a kind of moroseness because they have nothing left to believe in. Nobody can believe in a heavenly God any longer, perched upon a cloud with a white beard, omniscient and omnipotent, which is what the Church wants us to do. Neither can anybody believe in delightful little guardian angels, nor in a devil with horns and hooves. So nobody knows what to believe in anymore. Only a few young people have understood that love is essential. You have reached the golden age. People of the earth, you fly in the heavens, and your voices are carried to the four corners of the earth by means of radio waves. So the time has come for you to know the truth. As it has been foretold, everything is happening now that the earth has entered the age of Aquarius. Certain people have already written about this, but no one believed them. Some 22,000 years ago, your creators decided to start their work on Earth, and everything that has happened since was anticipated because the movement of the galaxy implies this knowledge. The age of Pisces was the age of Christ and his fishermen, and the age of Aquarius, which follows, began in 1946. This is the era in which the people of Israel found their country again, and it shall come to pass in that day, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the Pisces gate. Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 10. The gate of Pisces is the passageway into the age of Aquarius. This is the moment when the sun rises over the earth on the day of the vernal equinox in the constellation of Aquarius. The loud clamor is the sound accompanying this revelation. It is not by chance that you were born in 1946. The end of the Church. This revelation, thanks to the enlightenment it contains, will bring back hope and happiness to people who are morose. But it will also hasten the fall of the Church, unless the Church can understand its mistakes and place itself at the service of the truth. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Isaiah chapter 29 verse 20-21. It is the end of those people who want to make us believe in original sin and who want to make us feel guilty. The end for people who lay traps for those who spread the truth at the end of the age of Pisces and the beginning of the age of Aquarius. The end of people who are trying to save the Church as it existed, while ousting the just, those who speak of justice and those who write or preach the truth. They are like the people who crucified Jesus. Such people were convinced that they were defending what was right without trying to understand and were frightened of being ruined and destroyed at the dawning of the age of Pisces. And the eyes of them that see shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. But the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. Isaiah chapter 32 verse 3-8. Everyone in this case will understand the words, "The eyes of them that see shall not be dim." It is the church who speaks of Yahweh deceitfully and leaves empty the souls of those who are hungry for the truth. It is the church which devises infamous plans to annihilate the poor, so that those who are unable to understand or who dare not understand will remain faithful to it through the fear of sin, excommunication or other such nonsensical things. While the poor try to plead their case, those who lack the intelligence to seize the truth stand up for the lies of the church at the church's bidding. But those of noble mind, those who loudly proclaim the truth, they perform noble acts, even though they may live without the approval of the agonizing church of man. Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Hath it not been told you from the beginning? Have ye not understood from the foundations of the earth? Isaiah chapter 40 verse 21. Behold my servant whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I will put my spirit upon him, he shall bring forth judgment to the nations. Isaiah chapter 42 verse 1. You are the one who will spread the truth throughout the world, this truth which has been revealed to you over the past few days. A bruised reed will he not break, and a dimly burning wick will he not quench. Isaiah chapter 42 verse 3. You will not be able to destroy the church and its lies completely, but eventually, it will fade out by itself. This extinction has been going on for some time. The wick is weakening. It has accomplished its mission, and it is time for it to disappear. It has made mistakes and has enriched itself at the expense of the truth, without trying to interpret it in a clear enough way for people of this era. But do not be too hard on it, for thanks to the church, the word of the Bible, which is a witness to the truth, has spread throughout the world. Its mistakes have been great, particularly when it injected too much of the supernatural into the truth, and wrongly translated the scriptures in ordinary Bibles. It replaced the term Elohim, which refers to the creators, with a singular term, God, whereas in fact Elohim in Hebrew is the plural of Eloha. In this way, the church transformed the creators into a single incomprehensible God. Another mistake was to make people adore a wooden cross in memory of Jesus Christ. A cross is not the Christ. A piece of wood in the shape of a cross means nothing, and none taketh it to heart, neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire, and have also baked bread upon the coals thereof, I have roasted flesh, and eaten, and with the rest thereof shall I make an abomination? Shall I bow down to a block of wood? Isaiah chapter 44 verse 19. The creation of the State of Israel, the return of the Jewish people to Israel, as it was predicted, is a sign of the golden age. I will bring thy seed from the east, and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, Give up, and to the south, Keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth, even every one that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 5-7. This is indeed the creation of the State of Israel welcoming Jews from the north and from the south. The Bible, preserved by the Jewish people, bears witness to the coming of the Creators as it is written, Ye are my witnesses. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 10. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this, and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear, and say, It is truth. Ye are my witnesses, saith Yahweh, and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Therefore ye are my witnesses, saith Yahweh, that I am El. Yea, before the day was I am he. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 8 to 13. Ye are my witnesses. That is quite explicit, isn't it? And I can tell you again on this day, from ancient days I am one and the same, thanks to the witness that you hold in your hand, the Bible. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. Isaiah chapter 54 verse 7. The people of Israel have, in fact, regained their country after having participated in safeguarding the truth. The time when humanity will overcome illness by scientific means is predicted. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. Isaiah chapter 65 verse 20. Medicine now helps people triumph over illness and especially over infant mortality. In the lips of him that hath understanding wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Proverbs chapter 10 verse 13. The mistakes of the church. The church was sinful in making human beings feel guilty and making them pray without seeking to understand. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. Matthew chapter 6 verse 7. And despite the warning in the Gospels, the church has also made itself too wealthy, while it was written, Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one, and love the other, or else he will hold to the one, and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. Matthew chapter 6 verse 19 to 24. Provide neither gold, nor silver, nor brass in your purses, nor scrip for your journey, neither two coats, neither shoes, nor yet staves. Matthew chapter 10 verse 9 to 10. But with their stupid rules and meatless Fridays, they didn't respect their own Gospels. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. Matthew chapter 15 verse 11. How dare they, these men who are only men, indulge themselves in the wealth and luxury of the Vatican when the Gospels tell them to possess neither gold, nor silver, not even a spare coat? How dare they preach goodness? And Jesus said unto his disciples, Verily I say unto you, it is hard for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Matthew chapter 19 verse 23. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts, and greetings in the markets. For one is your master, even Christ, and all you are brothers. And call no man your father on the earth, for one is your Father, which is in heaven. Neither be you called masters, for one is your master, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. Matthew chapter 23 verse 4 to 11. That is all written in their own Gospels. So how dare the church burden people with their so-called sins, which are only different concepts of morality and lifestyles? How dare they speak of goodness while living in opulence in the Vatican when people are dying of hunger? How dare they seek invitations and honors while preaching humility? How dare they ask people to call them Father, Your Eminence, or Your Holiness, when their Gospels expressly forbid all these things? If tomorrow the Pope took to the road as a pauper, the Church would be revived, but it would have a totally different humanitarian goal to that which it has pursued up to now, namely the propagation of what must serve as proof for today. That mission is finished, but the Church can reorientate itself towards goodness by helping those who are unhappy, by helping to spread the real truth of those writings, which until now have been distorted or kept secret. In this way, the generous spirit of many priests would find fulfillment. For that to happen, the men of the Vatican should set an example by selling all their treasures to help finance underdeveloped countries. They should go to those countries and help people progress by offering practical help with their bare hands, not just with the good word. It is unacceptable, too, that there are different categories of marriage and more particularly of burials, according to a person's wealth. This is another mistake of the Church. But the time has come. At the root of all religions, it is not only in the Bible and the Gospels that there are traces of the truth. Testimonies can be found in practically every religion. The Kabbalah especially is one of the richest in testimonies, but it would not have been easy for you to get hold of one. If one day you can find a copy, then you will be able to see that there are a great number of allusions to us. Particularly noteworthy is a description in the Canticle of Canticles, 5, of the Creator's planet and the distance which separates it from Earth. It is written that the height of the Creator is 236,000 parasangs, and that the height of his heels is 30 million parasangs. The parasang is a unit of measurement just like the parsec, which stands for the distance that light can travel in 1 second, which is about 300,000 kilometers. Our planet is 30 million parasangs away from Earth, or about 9,000 billion kilometers, just a little less than a light year. By moving at the speed of light, or 300,000 kilometers per second, you would take almost 1 year to reach our planet. With your present-day rockets, which travel at only 40,000 kilometers per hour, it would take you about 26,000 years to reach our planet. So you can see that we have nothing to fear for the time being. We have the means to travel to Earth from our planet in less than 2 months with an atom-based propulsion method, which enables us to move at the speed of rays that are 7 times faster than the speed of light. Those rays carry us. To be carried by them, we leave the optical window, which is the spectrum of rays detected by the eye, to tune into the carrying beam. That is why people on Earth who have observed our spaceships have described them as becoming luminous, then very brilliant white, then blue, and finally disappearing. Obviously, when a spacecraft goes beyond the speed of light, it disappears and is no longer visible to the naked eye. That is the height of the Creator's heels, the distance at which his heels, so to speak, rest on a planet. The Creator's own planet is 236,000 parasangs from its Sun, a very big star, or 70 billion, 800 million kilometers. This is what is meant by the height of the Creators. The Kabbalah is the closest book to the truth, but almost all religious books allude to us with varying degrees of clarity. This is especially true in those countries where the Creators had bases, in the Andes, in the Himalayas, in Greece, where Greek mythology also contains important testimonies, as well as in the Buddhist and Islamic religions and among the Mormons. It would take many pages to name all the religions and sects that testify in a more or less obscure way to our work. Mankind, a disease of the universe. There, now you know the truth. You must write it down and make it known throughout the world. If people on Earth want us to give them the benefit of our experience and help them gain 25,000 years of scientific knowledge, they have to show us that they want to meet us, and above all demonstrate that they deserve it, and that all this can be done without any danger to us. If we give our knowledge to humanity, we have to be sure they will make good use of it. Our observations in recent years have not shown that wisdom rules the earth. Certainly there has been progress, but some people still die of hunger, and a warlike spirit still exists throughout the world. We know that our arrival could improve many things and unite nations, but we have to feel that people really want to see us, and that they are truly starting to unify. We also have to feel that they really want to see us arrive, knowing fully who we are and understanding the true meaning of our arrival. Several times human warplanes have tried to chase our crafts, taking us for enemies. You must tell them who we are, so that we can show ourselves without any risk of either getting hurt or killed, which is not the case at present, or of creating a dangerous and murderous panic. Some researchers want to contact us by radio, but we do not respond because in this way they could locate our planet. On the other hand, transmission times would be too long, and our broadcasting system uses waves that your technology cannot pick up because you have not yet discovered them. They are 7 times faster than radio waves, and we are experimenting with new waves that are 1.5 times faster than that. Progress continues, and our own research continues for the purpose of understanding and relating to the large being of whom we are a part, and on whose atoms we are parasites. These atoms are the planets and the stars. In fact, we have been able to discover that intelligent living beings in the infinitely small live-on particles that are planets and suns to them. They ask the same questions as ourselves. Humanity is a disease inside this gigantic being, and the planets and stars are its atoms. Also, this same gigantic being is in its turn a parasite on other greater atoms. In both directions, it is infinite. But the important thing is to make sure that the disease, which is humanity, continues to exist and never dies. We did not know when we were creating you that we were accomplishing a secondary mission, written into us, thus repeating what had been done for us. From what we created and how it has developed, we have discovered our own origins. For we were also created by other people who have since disappeared. Their world has quite certainly disintegrated, but thanks to them, we were able to continue in their steps and create you. We may disappear one day, but by then you will have replaced us and taken over our roles. So you are the link in the precious chain of human continuity. Other worlds exist, and humanity is certainly developing in other parts of the universe. But in this region of the universe, our world is the only one to have made new creations. This is important because, from each world, innumerable children can be brought forth who are precious for preserving continuity. This allows us to hope that one day humanity will no longer be in danger of disappearing completely. But we are not sure that humankind can ever stabilize itself in abundance. The chain has always continued, but we must not upset the equilibrium of the immense body in which we are a parasite because, by developing too much, we could trigger a catastrophe, which at best might bring about a recession and at worst cause complete destruction. In a healthy body, a few germs can live without danger, but if they develop too much, they cause a disease, which troubles the organism. Then the organism reacts to destroy the germs responsible, either naturally or with the help of medication. The important thing, apparently, is to create enough worlds so that humanity does not extinguish itself, but above all else, to make sure that the equilibrium is not broken by concentrating our efforts anew on seeking to make those who exist happier. It is in this area that we can help you tremendously. Evolution, a myth. I make a parenthesis here because you must dispel from your minds all uncertainty about evolution. Your scientists who have elaborated theories of evolution are not completely wrong in saying that humanity is descended from the monkey, and the monkey from the fish, and so on. In reality, the first living organism created on Earth was unicellular, which then gave rise to more complex life forms. But this did not happen by chance. When we came to Earth to create life, we started by making very simple creations and then improved our techniques of environmental adaptation. This enabled us to make in turn fish, amphibians, mammals, birds, primates, and finally man himself, who is just an improved model of the monkey to which we added what makes us essentially human. In this way, we made human beings in our image, as it is written in the Bible in Genesis. You could have realized for yourselves that there is little chance of a series of accidents producing such a large variety of life forms, the colors of birds and their elaborate mating rituals, or the shape of certain antelope horns. What natural need could lead antelopes or wild goats to develop curled horns? Or birds to have blue or red feathers? And what about exotic fish? All that is the work of our artists. Do not forget the artists when you yourselves create life. Imagine a world without them, no music, films, paintings or sculptures. Life would be very boring, and animals very ugly if their bodies corresponded only to their needs and functions. Evolution of the various forms of life on Earth is really the evolution of techniques of creation and the increased sophistication of the Creator's work. This eventually led them to create people similar to themselves. You can find the skulls of prehistoric men who were the first human prototypes. These were replaced each time by others more evolved. This continued right up to your present form, which is the exact replica of your creators who were afraid to create anything highly superior to themselves, although some were tempted to do so. If we could be sure that human beings would never turn against their creators to dominate or destroy them, as has happened between the different human races created successively on Earth, but instead would love them as parents, the temptation would be great to create an improved humankind. This is possible, but at what enormous risk. In fact, some creators worry that the people of the Earth may be slightly superior to their fathers. Satan is one of those who has always thought, and still does, that the people of the Earth are a danger to our planet because they are a little too intelligent. But the majority among us thinks that you will prove to us that you love us, and that you will never try to destroy us. That is the least we expect before coming to help you. It is even possible that at each creation of humankind by humankind, a small improvement is achieved, a true evolution of the human race, which is gradual, so that the creators do not feel threatened when faced with their creations. This makes it possible to speed up progress. Although we do not think that at present we can give you our scientific heritage, we do feel it is safe to give you our political and humanitarian knowledge. This will not threaten your planet, but will allow you to be happier on Earth. Thanks to this happiness, you will progress faster, and that could also help you to show us more speedily that you deserve our help and our inheritance in striving to achieve an intergalactic level of civilization. Otherwise, if humanity cannot calm its aggressiveness, if peace does not become your only goal, and you allow people to promote war, produce arms, test nuclear weapons, and maintain armies just to seize or retain power, then we will stop such people from becoming a danger to us, and there would be another Sodom and Gomorrah. How could we not fear people from Earth when they attack their own, we who are from another world and slightly different? You, Claude Vorilhon, you will spread the truth under your present name, which you will replace progressively with Rael, which means literally, light of God, and if we translate it more accurately, light of the Elohim, or ambassador of the Elohim, because you will be our ambassador on Earth, and we will come only officially to your embassy. Rael can be simply translated as messenger, and it is through telepathy that we made you name your son Ramuel, which means the son of the one who brings light, because he is truly the son of our messenger, of our ambassador. And following that pronouncement, he left, just as he had done on other mornings.